Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video to the channel. So in this video, we're going to be going through the latest right-click examine post, which is going to relate to 110 crafting. Now, out of all the recent 110 skills, crafting is the one I am most looking forward to. Now, the release of the 110 skills have been a bit up and down between all of them, but they all have had a defining factor of there's been a chance to make some form of GP from these releases. Now, 110 crafting in particular is the one I'm most looking forward to because there's quite a lot of packed content in this, which I'm looking to think I can make GP with this on release. Now, if you don't have 110 crafting already, don't worry. I'm going to be releasing a couple of crafting, money making / high XP skilling videos for you guys to enjoy to give you some ideas on how to get to 110 crafting. My personal opinion, if you are going to go to sort of like 99 or maybe further, it's a really good chance for you to build your account and make a lot of GP in the process. However, there are some very cheap and even profitable very high XP crafting methods around as well, but I'll make sure if I've done them already, I'll put them in the corner of this video just for you guys to go and have a look if they are already out. I know I've already done the one about battle staffs and a couple of other things, but there are a couple more coming to the channel. So without further ado, let's go through it. So what is this update? So this update is basically going to be crafting going beyond level 99. So we're going to go to 110, and what this is going to produce is a new crafting method for some new magical armor. So crafting and magic armor have always gone hand in hand, and crafting really is responsible for, well, range armor to a point, but mainly magic armor is what it's there for. Not only that as well, we're going to have some top tier exquisite urns, which I'm very much looking forward to, and it's the part of the update which I think will make the most money from, because again, people, depending on how much XP these new urns are going to give, which hopefully we'll find out later on, this could be what people are after, because that's the one thing which is going to save people XP. It's going to make their XP journeys quicker. And as we've always said on this channel, people will buy for convenience. So the fact that they can train stuff quicker by just buying a better tier urn, they'll of course go for that as well. And also, a even better thing on top of this as well is a new set of platinum jewellery, which, again, platinum jewellery, is it going to be a new ore? Is it going to be a combination of ore? How is that jewellery going to be done? So not only have we got the profit from the jewellery, and we've also got the profit from making the bars to make the jewellery as well. Personal thoughts at the minute, I think it's going to be with moonstones, unless they're planning to like release a new type of gem, which again could be another thing in terms of money making. We could have urns, we could have the Masterwork armor, we could then have the jewellery, the bars, and also the gems. So this is what I'm sort of saying about crafting. There's so many different layers to it of just what they've described in this first post of where you can go and make some money. But one thing they do mention in the very early thing is that crafting is more of a bank standing skill, which in essence it is. But they're laying out plans for a more rounded armor crafting method, which is going to hopefully be a bit more interesting in how we train it. So let's work through the post and then we'll highlight things which are going to be good and like things I will think will be good for the update. So one big thing is what they've mentioned here is that range armors will be coming once 110 Hunter is released. And it seems that there's going to be a form of magic armor crafting very similar to how they've done the eternal magical weapons, the martial stuff, the martial training. Which is really interesting because I wonder what they're going to be using for the resource to actually make this as well. So it sounds like in a minute the magic armor isn't just masterwork, there might be some other stuff as well. So maybe answering that question is the next bit, which says sowing seeds and cultivating cloth. So anyone who's delved into Demonheim will know that the magic armor is made in the dungeons by harvesting plants and then spinning it. With 110 crafting, we're making this an integral part of the skill and also give more purpose to farming, which I love all the purpose to farming because then this branches another thing off that if you've got the farming level to do it, 100 farming for this one, you'll be able to plant the new seeds which can be sourced from thieving, monster drops or other activities and then yield the crafting cloth to make the armor. So now, because the crafting of the armor is going to demand the cloth, that's then giving purpose to farming, thieving and also hunting the seeds. So the seeds will be profit because people will want to craft the new armors, but those who've got the level to farm it and maybe not the level to craft it can make more money with farming due to the cloth. So what this might actually be massive for as well, if you have access to play your own farm beans, you should hopefully be able to instant grow this cloth, and by doing that you'll be able to put a lot into the gun exchange at once and then hopefully make a lot of profit from doing that as well. So I'm going to have to hold off using my play your own farm beans because I think that's going to be quite important. At level 100 crafting, and once we've obtained the brand new cloth, we'll be able to use a spinning wheel to obtain plant thread. And this can be used to process, add to loom and craft it into a new cloth. So again, that's quite a lot to it. So we're going to have to get the cloth, then go onto a spinning wheel to turn it into thread and then take the thread to a loom. We never really used the loom before, so that's really interesting. We'll then have to start out at the drafting table, which is going to be very sort of similar to like the fletching table or like the Artisan's Workshop area for when we're going to make down to Marshall. So then from there, we're going to make an in-progress magic top. We'll spend some time planning out the armor piece, skilling and gaining XP while progressing the top. Again, very similar to how it's done before. But what they've added in here, which they've not done with the other sort of methods, is you have the ability to make mistakes while making your magic robe top. And then what I imagine is between 100 and 110, you have reduced rates of making mistakes. It's not an issue though, you can take it to a repairs table. So again, they've really thought out this process as well. And with this new crafting method, you can make hoods, robe tops, bottoms, gloves, boots, and a similar upgrading system to the +5 MK or Mark 5 items. So this is how they're going to do the Marshall system, or very similar to the burial armor system, where we're going to take an item from level 1, upgrade it to level 5, and then you can get rid of that item for the pure +5 XP again, which, again, from what they've done with rune crafting and fletching and smithing, is a very good way to do it. It gives people a purpose for AFK, although going for that crafting method, I'm not sure just how AFK it will be, so it'll be good to see how that goes as well. And then your final step, similar to how we do with burial armor and smithing or the Marshall, there's going to be something at the crafting guild, which hopefully the crafting guild gets a nice little update as well. I think it'd be really cool to upgrade the guild as well, just to bring it up to like 2025, bring it up to all the new stuff as well, because you don't want an outdated guild and then a very new system of where to do it as well. So in terms of what we're going to be making, they've highlighted the armor. So these are going to be some early progress stuff and basically what we want, I believe. And what they've actually done, which I do appreciate, like they've used some of the 07 content. The ancestral robes are one of the best looking pieces in 07. And I think on the RS3 model and how the RS3 style is, it could work very, very well. So they've put that suggestion along with blood bark as well, which is also very, very good. Then we move on to Masterwork magic armor. So what we mentioned before is simply the burial type, or which we've gone through with fletching and smithing, which is how we're going to train the skill. Masterwork is what we're going to make to actually get the actual masterwork. For this, they're looking for some form of feedback, which is really good actually. I think they've taken sort of on board that some of the masterwork stuff has not been what it needed to be, especially for sword. I think the sword is not of the level when it was first released. I think they're doing stuff with the staff as well, because they've realised that the staff isn't quite where it needed to be, which is good. And it's good that they're taking feedback about that as well. The Exquisite Urns are going to be a new form of urn into the game. So 100 to 110 crafting, they require more XP to fill. And then as a result, will give you more XP as a result once you transport them. And you can go to the Breach of God, which is good. Now, one thing I mentioned in Market Watch this week is that clay went down in price. And it didn't make really sense when you knew that urns were coming. It turns out that there's going to be a brand new item to make Exquisite Urns. And this is going to be porcelain clay. So very similar to the gems and also this cloth. Now we've got porcelain clay to go in mine as a sort of resource, because people will be wanting the urn. So with this update, we don't even need to craft. Like, we can go mine and then make material with that as well. So this is going to go off and branch off into another thing, and it's going to give us a brand new 100 mining ore. This type of clay can only be found in Everlight and is mineable with 100 mining. But with this, they've also asked some questions. So which gems should be used for each exquisite urn? Is there any skills which are currently missing urns? Again, very, very good point. I mean, things like divination and archaeology are technically resource skills, but they don't have urns associated to them as well. So really good that they're asking for this as well. So that's very nice. Platinum jewelry and anklets. So the final star of 110 crafting comes in the form of platinum jewelry. But they've also released a brand new jewelry slot, which is the anklet. The platinum anklet is the new style of jewelry which can be worn in the boot slot. So you are giving up a boot slot for it, but if it has a big passive effect, that could be game changing for any form of PVM really. But again, with this one, they are looking for sort of like feedback on this as well. So what they've put here is that these currently use dragonstones as the main gem ingredient, which is interesting really, because they've skipped onyx and moonstones, which, to be fair, dragonstones come into the game at such a rate. To make something like this platinum jewelry, it could be a really good chance if you needed substantial amounts of gems, not just one. To make this jewelry, it could be a really good sink for things like dragonstones as well, because they do come in the game in such high volumes. And then finally, quality of life. So I imagine they're going to make some changes with how they do it. Again, they're looking for feedback on this as well. If you've got feedback, you can join Discord, you can get involved. There'll be surveys about it as well. And it's looking really, really good actually. And then the final thing for this as well is, and again, this is a very early right-click examine. 110 crafting is going to launch in June. So if you haven't got 110 crafting already, now is the time to get prepared. You've got plenty of time. I've always said this as well. With these 110 releases, normally you get a double XP slotted just beforehand as well. And I think this will be no different either. I think we'll get a 110 crafting just before the release, and then it's going to bring out as well. But in the meantime, there'll be plenty of videos related to all these skills, all these different things, but Just from this one update, people focus too much on crafting, but we've already had it mentioned that there's going to be a mining for the porcelain clay. There's going to be farming. You're going to have a chance thieving these brand new seeds, PVM with these new seeds as well. And that's without actually making the martial crafting set, the brand new jewellery, or the urns as well. Loads of money makers coming from this. I think 110 crafting, if it's executed how they've said here, with a few little tweaks and stuff, 110 crafting, they could smash out the ground and it could be absolutely massive for an update. But for me personally, and I know you guys kind of think the same way, this could be huge as a way to make some GP very, very early. In my opinion, the best skill release for the past 2 years was Necromancy. Nothing really got close to the GP Necromancy made. 110 crafting could be doing this. The kind of content it's bringing, the kind of updates it's bringing as well, is absolutely massive. And I think a lot of these things, if they're done correctly, can be game changing as well. I'm really interested to see what kind of XP rates the martial stuff's going to have, the XP rates which the urns are going to have. If urns are a pretty decent XP buff, and you work with the urn enhancer as well, I think there will be big money because people will be wanting to save. If it's anything near the region of like 25 to 30% XP, it could be massive and people will heavily buy that to save themselves time. People want to save time. People don't want to get the resources themselves, and that's where we can cash in with these money-making videos and how we approach the game as well. But I hope you guys are looking forward to it. Let me know what you guys think down below. Again, it looks like to be a pretty big update coming up in June. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I do have a brand new poll on my community tab. Please have a look because it's relating to some series and some content coming forward as well. And I'd love to hear what you guys think about that kind of stuff as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.